Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on cumulative frequency and box plots, question number 1 with me, Mr. Barton. Right, what have we got here? A fairly standard looking cumulative frequency diagram question, but with some twists coming up in parts C and D. So let's try and get our solid marks in. A company is considering changes to its price list for delivering parcels. The company is considering a charge based on the distance between the warehouse and the destination of the parcel. The table gives a grouped frequency distributions for distances measured to the nearest kilometre for 60 parcels. I'm going to put a little circle around that. Always good if they give you a total in a question. So there's your distances. Complete the cumulative frequency table. Now this one looks a little bit weird, and this has started popping up in exams, where they give you the upper bound and an inequality, but don't worry about it. All that means is how many parcels were less than 10.5 kilometres. Well, there was only 10 delivered between 1 and 10, so there were 10 parcels less than 10.5, so that matches. So how many were less than 20.5? Well, you've got all those 10, and you've got these 30 joining the gang as well. So I think that's going to be 40 there. How many were less than 30.5? Well, these ones and these ones, that was 40, and you've got another 15 joining, so that's 55. And less than 40.5, that's an extra 5 there, so that's going to be up to 60. My voice went a bit high then. On the graph paper below, draw the cumulative frequency diagram. Now, we've got to remember one thing and one thing only for cumulative frequency, and that's we plot on the upper bounds. We always plot on the upper bits of the groups. Now, in this case, these upper bits here are our 0.5, our 10.5, our 20.5, 30.5, and 40.5. We'll see some questions later on where they're set out in a more sort of traditional format, but you still always plot on the upper bound of the group, on the upper bound. Okay, here we go. So we have got a distance of 0.5 and a cumulative frequency of 0. So let's mark that down there. Just checking my scale, it seems to go up. There are 10 squares, so each little square is 1. A distance of 10.5, so let's find that first, and that's got a cumulative frequency of 10. Put a little mark there. 20.5, so just after the 20, and that goes up to 40. Then we've got 30.5, and that's going to go all the way to 55. And we've got 40.5, and that's going to go all the way to 60. And we're going to join those up with a beautiful, smooth curve. I'm quite happy with that. That's one of my better ones. Right, so we've got those marks in the bag. Now, what's coming up in part C? Let's have a look here. Use your cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate for the median and the interquartile range. You must show your working. Okay, let's go back to our diagram. Now, for median, we want half of the value of the cumulative frequency, and that's not necessarily half of the top value here. In this case, it is, because our graph goes right to the top, but it's not always the case. So from median, I'm going to go across at 30. I'm going to mark it on with my ruler. I'm going to see where I hit the curve, and then I'm going to go down from here. Let's have a look there. Down there. Now, yours might be slightly different, but hopefully not too much different. I always like to mark that M for median as well. So I'm getting there a 17. So I'm going to get my estimate for my median is 17. Now, my interquartile range, I need my upper quartile and my lower quartile. My lower quartile is a quarter of the cumulative frequency, so a quarter of 60, I think is going to be 15. So I'm going to go across at 15 till I hit my curve. And again, then I'm going to pop down there, and that to me is looking at like 12, I think. And I'm going to mark that as a lower quartile. And my upper quartile is 3/4 of the way. So 3/4 of 60 is 45. Some people like to say that's the median, which is 30, plus the lower quartile, which is 15. That's absolutely fine. And let's see where that hits. And let's bomb ourselves down from here. And that looking like about 23, I'm going to go for there. And then, let's mark that upper quartile. And I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to put upper quartile equals 23, lower quartile equals, I think it was 12, I'll just have a quick check, yep, 12. So my interquartile range is going to be equal to 23, take away my 12, which if my maths is right is going to be 11. As I say, yours might be slightly different. Now, part D fuses together cumulative frequency and box plots. For these 60 parcels, the shortest delivery distance is 2 kilometres and the longest is 37. Draw a box and whisker diagram. Now, you need 5 pieces of information on a box and whisker. You need a minimum, a maximum, a lower quartile, an upper quartile, and a median. So let's make sure we get all those in there. Shortest delivery distance is 2. Now where you plot it on this y-axis doesn't matter at all, but what getting the scale does matter. So I'm going to go for 1 just there. So that's my shortest distance at 2. My longest distance is 37, so let's mark that on there, 37. I have a median at 17, so let's get him on. There he is there. I have an upper quartile at 23, mark him as neat as I can, and I have a lower quartile at 12. And now all I need to do is join my box plot up. So I have my upper quartile, my lower quartile, my median forming my box. I have that there, and I have that there, and I have a lovely looking box plot there. And finally the twist, part D. Previously the delivery charge was £2 for each parcel. The new pricing plan they're considering is free delivery for all parcels up to the median distance and £4 for parcels for all other deliveries. Would you expect the company to profit from the new pricing structure? Now, these are the kind of questions that if you write a load of nonsense, you're getting a big fat 0, and a lot of students do. But this is 3 marks that we need to get. So let's have a little think about this. Free delivery for parcels up to the median delivery distance. Now, how many parcels is that? Well, the median is exactly halfway, so that's got to be exactly half your number of parcels. So let's have a look. Half my parcels get £0 delivery. Now, you can think of this in general terms, or you can think of this of the 60 parcels. So if there are 60 parcels, up to the median is 30 parcels. So that's 30 lots of £0, and if my maths is right, you're getting nothing from that. But £4 per parcel for all other deliveries. So that must be the other half of the parcels. So the other half of the parcels, you're getting £4 for. How many parcels are there? Well, up to the median is 30, so there must be another 30 after. So 30 are you getting £4 for, and I think that's £120. And that gives you a grand total of £120. Now, how does that compare to what you got before? Well, previously it was £2 a parcel. So I'm going to put there, that's new. And here I'm going to put old. So previously it was £2 a parcel. So that was all parcels you were getting £2 for. So there were 60 parcels, each one getting £2. And I think, if my maths is right, that's £120. So I'm going to put, therefore, no change in profit. Perfect.